figured while I had a minute, I would do a little staging of my devices here. This is what I was normally using on the day-to-day basis, was my Moto Z Droid. And what I'm trying to use now on a daily basis is a Moto E4 that's Verizon branded. That comes with Verizon software. So basically it's got a Snapdragon 400 something, I don't know, it's low end. 8 megapixel camera with a flash, 5 megapixel camera with a flash, which is nice for the front, 5-inch screen, HD, fingerprint sensor, pretty cool. I don't know if I mentioned, but SD card, I think up to 128 gigs. Let's see, 2800 milliamp hour battery right there. So we'll throw that in. And, okay, while I talk about this phone, I just want to show you something that I think is interesting. Oh, actually, let me tell you about the charger. 5.2 volts, 2 amps, not turbocharging. I thought I read that it was fast charging somewhere. This is a quick charge 2.0 compatible charger. Doesn't charge this as fast as this does, so I recommend using the wall charger you get with it because it's better. Alright, so actually, we'll do this first. And we'll talk about this phone. Okay. Now, we'll talk about some of the things generally about it. Very similar to the Pixel launcher. It's a combination of kind of like both. It has the Pixel launcher, also with the Google Now on the side. So I thought that was a pretty neat feature in comparison to the launcher that came with the Droid. And also, I would say, let's see, the software is noticeably less stock than previous iterations of Motorola phones. A lot more, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. There's a lot more customization in the icons. There's actually a FM radio on this one, which I've never seen on a Verizon branded and Motorola phone. So I think that is pretty neat. Let's see if I can get this to stop screwing with me. Command center widget, although it's not as cool as the one on this, it's just as functional. So I've got all my apps installed, so let's talk about some things I like so far. Price, $70. The off-screen buttons, love it. Okay, swipe left to go back, tap the home screen to go home. Swipe right, gets you to your recent apps. Let's see. What else do I like about this thing? Yeah, I really like the off-screen buttons for the fact that the keyboard is smaller on the screen, and I have big fingers. So when I'm swiping or tapping and I hit the spacebar, I tend to hit the home button. So I kind of like that I can get those stupid buttons off the screen. Fingerprint reader, not as fast on the Motos as on the Moto Z. It's just nowhere near as fast. You know, it's just slower. But it works. So I mean, on a $70 phone. The front-facing flash, the flashlight, when you use it as a flashlight, it's actually pretty bright. Another thing I like is the Bluetooth. I've actually not had any issues so far with the Bluetooth. I get skipping and pausing on my Moto Z. Nothing so far on this. And I actually have I carry less apps on this now because of updates over time have really killed the performance on this thing. Okay, so let's go back to this. This is what it's really about. So I don't like the earpiece. It's very soft. And almost can be a deal breaker, honestly. That if it was any more than $7, I would not recommend that device, because if you're outside, you're going to have a hard time hearing it. Almost a deal breaker, but the price is right at $70. I would not pay $199 with that weak earpiece. The reception, not as good as this, but not nearly as bad. It may be a bar difference, but some places where this would have LTE, this would be switching to Verizon's 3G network. The charger, USB. No, I mean, it's probably Qualcomm's Quick Charge 1. Like, it's not just regular 2 amps. The gestures, the Moto gestures. Like, I'm not getting the Moto display until I even pick this up. So that's something you pull out of your pocket. It'll probably turn on too. Although it's nice. It shows your battery percentage right away and the date. That's pretty cool. It's a little bit more informational than this here. The fact that this has an accelerometer and you can't do the chop twice to turn the flashlight on, and the twist to launch the camera is not the feature to launch it, and you have to double tap the power button to get the camera to start up. I don't like that too much. And this goes without saying, because it's a Verizon phone that comes from Verizon. There's a ton of software that comes on here. After I started up the phone, got it activated, and didn't actually I just set up my Google account and did not install any other apps. It was 8 gigs used, or 8 gigs left out of 16 gigabytes, and formatting it was and all that. So that wasn't appealing. But you can add an SD card, which does add some storage capability. I don't know. That's really all I got on this right now. And once I use a little bit more, I'll kind of have some more, interesting thoughts, I guess, on it. So this was just kind of thrown together in one take. So I hope you can take something from this, and I'll report back some other time.